Who is Andrew Wolnez? Well, he's a predator. That's who he is. He claims he's got 6 kids, 2 daughters. I don't see how breeding with predators is a good thing. However, I don't control women's vaginas. I don't own a vagina of my own. So, I'm not allowed to have an opinion on that, am I? That's right. While most sexual assaults are perpetrated by women, we still pretend and propagate the myth that men are all sexual predators. Less than 1% of men are sexual predators. Less than 1%. Of course, sexual predation by women is seen differently as men. The teacher here who had sex with a 14-year-old student, did she get 40 years? No, she got 6 hours in jail. 6 hours. That sucks. Now, I haven't checked in a few days, but the last I checked, there was only 4 male educators in the United States arrested for having sex with students. Only 4. Last I checked, there was 48 women who had done so. What's the average length of time for a woman to spend in prison for having sex with a student? Well, female perpetrators of sexual crimes serve on average 8 months. Damn. Damn. So, let's get in on this. Let me find the recording so I can show you what it's really like out here when you have to deal with actual predators like Andrew Wolnez. When you need help stopping this abuse, people don't help you to turn in the abuse. Ever. Especially not if you're a disabled homeless man. You're expected to do it on your own when you can't. If you're not able to, that doesn't mean that you're not fucking trying. Now this Wolnez feller. When I was harmed when I first got here by police and Molly, over and over and over again. Then later on by police and Farnsworth, over and over and over again. And also by a bunch of youth between the ages of 14 and 22 at the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot. Those children and the police, again, predatory towards me. Then I'm sent to mental health. Mental health doesn't arrest those little shitheads. Mental health doesn't investigate. Mental health refuses to look at evidence. Refuses to allow the victim a room that they can sit in peace and quiet and relative safety, where their predators don't have access to them. My predators always have access to me. Always. I live in public. Or everything that you do and you say, oh, it's legal and I'm a grown-ass adult, I should be able to do what I want. Well, unless you're homeless. The homeless shouldn't be allowed to do any of those things, should they? But that's not what this is about. This is about predators, isn't it? Now we're going to start off by showing you some of the stuff I showed in the end of the last video. Yep. People think that letting these predators go is a good idea. No, that only allows them access to more victims. Just because they stopped hurting you doesn't mean that they didn't go out immediately and find someone else to do it to. Several of the people at that church were also victims of wolnez. These are career criminals. Meanwhile, I've recorded these abuses by this guy, as well as by people like Christian Alexander, as well as people like Molly. I post up about a lot of predators because a lot of people choose to be predatory. Andrew Wolnez needs to actually make reparations for the harm that he's caused. He also needs to go to prison. One of the ladies that works at Safeway had kind of a good idea for temporarily. That asshole gets recorded when he's around me for a reason. Because he's violent. Because he's a predator. Let me show you what he looks like. First, we're going to show you some other predators. This is Kayla Trujillo. This lady here. That's right. Miss Peaches. But she's not who we're looking for, is she? Nope. We're looking for this guy, Andrew Wolnez. Andrew Wolnez. This is Nichole Vertner. She works at the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital. She also works or volunteers at one of the churches here, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Imagine that. Now, how did this all start? We'll show you. First of all, the First Amendment only counts if you're a woman. It doesn't matter for the rest of us. Anything that we say is somehow a threat towards women and we should all be castrated or some such bullshit. Antagonistic and threatening over something to do with some kids. Now, this guy right here wanted to accuse me of being a pedophile, claimed that them youngins screaming the N-word at me was just part of their vocabulary. And he was up in my face, so I started recording while he was talking shit, and he was trying to enlist the man next to him to get some assistance in doing this stuff. That's the thing about predators. Predators like Andrew Wolnez. Predators like Christopher Kurth of Chapel, Nebraska. These are actual predators. Actual predators. Not make-believe predators. Not figments of the imagination. Actual predators. Now, this guy wanted to accuse me of being a pedophile and a rapist and of doing blues and claimed that he saw me. Well, guess what? He slandered my name knowingly, willingly, and intentionally. He assaulted me knowingly, willingly, and intentionally. He broke my things knowingly, willingly, and intentionally. Yeah, there is nothing about this guy worth having out here on the streets. There is nothing about this guy worth having in our society. And you're going to get to see that. You get to see the whole time this guy, of course, he wants to make false allegations. But when I accuse him of the same shit, what does he do? He tries getting violent. Well, actually, he does get violent, but we'll get to that later. Same video, though.
You'll just have to ask him. Poor guy. See, talking trash. All these little druggies out here do this.
Yeah, you're fucking
Ain't no different.
You're fucking lucky, dude. You're fucking lucky.
I am not lucky. I'm stuck with people like you,
Hey,
junkies like you.
I'm not a junkie. I don't do drugs.
Get out of my face. Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
Don't ever call me a fucking drug. I don't do drugs.
Touch. You can talk about me doing blues. I don't touch that shit.
I've seen
now
you.
back off.
Now, right there, that's why this bitch is never going to hear the end of it. Ever. He belongs in prison. Now, he wanted to accuse me of doing shit that I didn't do. There are consequences for that. Why don't I kill him like everyone suggests? Because I believe that killing people is wrong. This is why me and most Christians do not get along. Most Christians are violent excuse makers who will make any excuse for the murder of others who think differently. Now, this guy lost horribly. Horribly.
Do not back off of me. Back off.
Fuck you.
Back off.
You.
Back off.
Ease.
Fucking druggy piece of shit.
Is this what you do?
Fucking druggy piece of shit.
Oh,
Now, what are you
Jesus,
supposed
God.
to do if you're being harmed? How to realistically step away from violent people.
Here is some information for how to protect yourself from a dangerous person. Here's a summary from HAWC. Protecting yourself from violence. 1. Seek support. 2. Be kind to yourself. 3. Set small goals. 4. Consider filing a protective order. And 5. If the violence escalates.
Yep, I didn't just consider filing a protective order. I filed several of them against many people, including the local sheriff in Chapel, Nebraska. And guess who I had to turn it into? The sheriff of Chapel, Nebraska. That's right, I had to give the protection order to Scott DaCosta so he could serve himself with a protective order. And then I was told like 8 months later that I did it wrong. Oh no, you're supposed to go to the clerk of the courts. Well, the clerk of the courts is the one that told me I needed to turn it into Scott DaCosta. How to back away from an immediately dangerous situation. Now, there's a lot of really important stuff. You know, you always say, walk away, walk away, walk away. Well, there's a certain way you have to walk away. First of all, seek support. Find someone in the local area so that at least there's a witness. That's important. Now, most predators will attack you from the back. So you have to remain facing them. If you are backing away from them and they are still stepping up in your face, that right there shows predatory aggression. Now, when they're making false accusations about you and you just throw it right back at them and they want to get immediately violent, again, This shows that this asshole has a different set of rules for him than he has for others, doesn't it? Now, one of the things that is an important point, all right, it's important when you're in that situation that you do acknowledge them. If you nod downward as you back away. Do not turn your back on your predator. And I'll show you examples of why you don't do that too. There's a woman named Jamie who was abused in the Dalles, Oregon. And you get to see that the 2 times her predator run up on her are the 2 times she had her back turned. While she was facing him and screaming at him, this dude who's twice her size, yeah, he wasn't going to do shit. Now let's watch this wolnez stuff. He wants to manufacture, that's right, manufacture horrible shit. I didn't just type about those youth. And they're not just kids. Most of them are grown-ass adults. And whether they're kids or not, they can still go to jail for this shit.
Damn Christ.
This guy needs to go.
Now what did I do? I made sure I stayed facing him. And as soon as I could, I went over to try to find someone professional. Obviously, I can't run away from the guy. I was there to use the cans. This is at Safeway here in Tillamook. The guy still goes off over and over, trying to enlist others to his violence, trying to scream and make a big fucking scene, acting like a child. He also noticed that while he was screaming at me, I did my best not to scream back at him. You think it's okay to be predatory like this, and I say that it's not.
Now, of course, this is the life that I get to deal with. People wanting to be bullies, people wanting to threaten, people wanting to harass, and me having to be the gentleman.
And then this guy, and he wants to come over and video me. He wrote online about
And see, the whole thing, he's trying to, any excuse, right? Wrote online about a bunch of kids. Well, I wrote online about a bunch of predators, a bunch of criminals, a bunch of racists, a bunch of people that wanted to beat on my vehicle and throw shit at it. Not just kids. By the way, it's also not illegal. Now, pointing out that I was being victimized by a bunch of people at the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot and writing about that, that's not illegal, first of all. And second of all, it is illegal to fucking assault me. And this guy, the whole time, he's just trying to make a big scene. When do I make a big scene? When it's absolutely fucking necessary. And not until then. However, for the last 7 years, it has been absolutely necessary.
Ain't no fighting. I stepped away as soon as I saw somebody professional looking.
Seek support. That's right. The police did everything that they could to protect my predators in every situation. From Molly to registered sex offender Robert Franklin Warnick to Maddie Boa, Natalie Bollinger, Alicia Bollinger, Ted Bollinger, Rose M. Kelly, a.k.a. Rose M. Self. And of course, there's the stepmoms, isn't it? Oh, I guess I don't need to roll out my cigarettes. I have part of one right here. Now, this guy keeps on getting like this over and over again. In this video, even. He gets violent with me.
I don't mind waiting over here until he's done with his turn.
I went across the street, Tried to avoid him, tried to remove myself from the area.
He's just gonna keep running his mouth though. See, that's the point here. I don't choose for people to bully, but I certainly choose to stand up to them. That was a good catch earlier, by the way. Now, of course, I could go over there and start trouble with him. I could even try threatening him like he was doing. But the thing is, avoiding drug use is nearly impossible. You just can't do it. So what do I do?
There he was calling me a pedophile.
Make sure I record it.
242, so let's get it to 235.
You just can't do it. So what do? I make sure I record it. When you don't do what people want right when they want it, what do? They generally throw tantrums like children, and then they don't like being recorded doing it. I don't mind taking my time. I don't mind turning in the cans as soon as he's done with his turn over there. And it looks like he almost is.
You notice how nice I am about it. I mean, here's a guy who's getting up in my face, threatening me, calling me a pedophile. And I was also told that he did try to headbutt me. He didn't actually headbutt me, so I'm not going to count that. Also, in the video where they said that he tried to headbutt me, it doesn't actually show him trying to headbutt me as far as I'm concerned. I did have to move my head out of the way because he stepped far or that close into me. And that might be why they thought he tried to headbutt me, because I bought my head back. I didn't want to get headbutted. And yes, I was afraid of that, especially after Robert Farnsworth. If I'd have put my head down, he would have bashed his face off of my skull like Farnsworth did.
You don't care who's right and wrong in any situation. You care who's off on the bike side.
Now, lots of people here know him. Some of the people that I went to about him being like this have been friends with him for years, and they don't want him to get in trouble. That's their thing.
Excuse me, I'm fucking with his drugs. What a little bitch. What did I do? Just to be an asshole? I stood up to him. And was it just to be an asshole? No.
It's September 23rd.
Same reason I stand up to the rest of you fucking punk asses.
Same goddamn video, too.
I'm a nice guy. Make sure that we keep the guy recorded in case he tries anything again. See what the threats? You do not get to try to assault me. You do not get to try to assault me.
He did assault me, by the way.
There he is.
You notice the scenery changed on it like 4 times rapid succession? That's because he kept hitting my phone. Hitting my phone. So although I was super nice to him, and even though he was being a fucking piece of shit, I let him do his cans. This is 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes into it before I'm finally able to go over there to turn in my cans. And here's this dipshit being this dipshit.
That's the thing, is that people look for trouble.
Now he found it. He found somebody that's not going to shut up. He found somebody who would rather see his bitch ass in prison than kill him. Do you know why? Because if I kill a predator, I only get to kill one. But I can put hundreds of these predators away in prison, some of them for the rest of their lives. Now, that's not the only video with that guy. We're going to show you a few more assaults by him. One of these videos that I made after that, wolnez wanted to get a hold of me on the internet, claim he wasn't threatening me. Well, that's how I found out what his name is. So now I know his name to tell everybody. He certainly didn't like it, did he? Now, we've got a lot more videos with wolnez. That's just the first one. He wanted to accuse me of being a pedophile, accuse me of being a druggie, even outright claim he'd seen me. Well, that's kind of difficult, being as I don't do drugs, but I do smoke pot. Does that mean that I'm evil? Does that make it okay to harm me? By the way, here's some of them youth egging my fucking car. That's right. ZVF 568. That's the vehicle right there. Now, is that a Denali or is that a Tacoma? Yeah, I've got recordings where you can actually hear this stuff pelting my fucking car. There's a lot of other predators that I've had to deal with here because guess what? People like Nichole Vertner wanted to pawn me off on drug addicts like Brian. Brian was staying with a guy named Ryan Woods. And Ryan Woods drove his vehicle, else's vehicle actually, through the Air Museum here in Tillamook. Now we're going to go to a video because he wanted to call me a pedophile. He wanted to accuse me of, well, I don't know who he was trying to accuse me of touching. But he certainly believed that that made it okay to do the harmful shit that he was doing. After I found out his name, what did I do? Andrew Wolnez, show us on this Pegasus where the bad Sean touched you. That's right. And who's the most likely person, statistically, to molest their children? Dear old daddy. You're going to find out why that's important right here in this video.
Touched you.
That's right.
Go ahead. You made some accusations, son. I expect you to back your shit up.
No evidence. He just wants
That's
to talk shit. I fast forward to 7 minutes into it.
You call me a fucking predator? You fucking punk?
Here's this predator.
That's because he's a predator.
On my vehicle.
When he comes up and starts hitting my
You call
phone,
me a predator? You call me a predator?
You are a predator.
You call me a predator?
he is a predator.
Fucking 6 kids.
Obviously, he's a predator. Does having 6 kids and 2 daughters make it okay to be a predator? No, it fucking doesn't. But of course, this guy is a beggar. He don't have a car and he has no responsibilities. He obviously doesn't have his kids. It's pretty obvious. Now, while he wanted to call me a beggar and pretend I'm a bad person because this is what he's learned, somehow magically justifies his crimes. We're going to see why that's important later on, too. Because later on, while he's at a church, not the Seventh-day Adventist, no, we're talking about a different church. The first Christian church here in Tillamook. How many times have I been assaulted on their property? 3 times. How many times have I been assaulted on Seventh-day Adventist property? 3 times. How many times have I been assaulted on Safeway property? At least 7. How many times have I been assaulted over at the Tillamook Senior Center? Once. How many times have I been assaulted at the public library here? At least 3 times. And this isn't even mentioning any of the stalkers, like James Murphy, who literally stalked me here from Hood River. Let's take a look at this asshole. We'll let this play out.
Back off! Do not touch me! You're fucking lucky I don't beat your fucking ass! Back off! Get out of the fucking car and fucking back off, Chimo! Fuck you, Chimo! Back off! You come here, Chimo! You're fucking lucky. Do not threaten! You wanted for murder! Back off! I am not! Yeah, you lying sack of shit! You wanted for murder! Fucking lying sack of shit! You fucking dumbass! Get
Oh, I should
the
probably...
fuck out of here!
You see, I still talk shit.
Get the fuck out of here! Dumb cunt!
Now, what did I have the whole time? Could I have fucking zapped him with my taser? Oh, fuck yes, I could have. Did I? Oh, fuck no. Because I don't like violence. But you get to see that predators are going to go after the people that are the least likely to defend themselves, the least likely to be able to defend themselves, the easiest to dismiss. It's a lot easier to dismiss a man than it is to dismiss a woman. Socially. It's a lot easier to assault a person who's disabled than somebody who isn't. It's a lot easier to harm somebody that's your size or small. Now, this man didn't stop assaulting me. See, we've already gotten to see, 3 situations here? There's even more than that. Repeatedly, he showed up to be predatory. Well, let me show you. Drugs. That's right. Needles. There's a woman named Miriam. Her mom is one of the people at First Christian Church that helped my predators to get away. Her name is Eileen. I do not hold Miriam responsible for what Eileen did. I hold Eileen responsible for that. And guess what? I'm not shitty to Eileen. She's got 3 daughters that work at Safeway. All of her daughters, 2 of her daughters talk to me like I'm a person. One of them quit. That's Miriam. She said she ain't coming back here either. She also said that she would speak up before she left. Now we'll go to the very end of this, because that's...
Part of the tobacco.
This is the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Hoping I don't get messed with. Now, obviously, I didn't start recording just to record him.
Oh, that guy right there. See, now that's the thing. I didn't say nothing to him. You need to stop. 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 Do not hit my stuff. Do not hit my stuff. Do not.
Obviously, he isn't just hitting me. He's also hitting my phone. Now, you notice how often you see him missing.
Yeah, well, you tried to threaten him too, apparently. That's the thing.
Yep. He goes after me and goes after my phone. Of course, predators don't like being fucking recorded. After you've committed a fucking felony, trying to destroy the goddamn evidence is another fucking felony, dumbass. Now, that's not all, is it? No, we get to have another situation over at the First Christian Church. Now, how can you tell that these Christians are fucking people? Because a good person when somebody's being harmed, wants that harm to stop, doesn't want that happening to others in their community. Shitty people will say, oh, well, it was 2 inches off the property, so we don't care. The church doesn't give a fuck about you if you're not on property when it happens, unless you're a woman. It's horrible. Now, of course, I am going to bring it up to one of the other videos of him assaulting me. Because he did, in fact and indeed, decide he was going to assault me at a church. Yep. Oh, there's some of the drug addicts that I was sent to by people like Nichole Vertner. Vandalism. Oh yeah, what all did they peg my car with? Tampons, eggs, granola bars, toilet paper. Yeah, so me writing about these people, see, that's Safeway right there. That's vehicle right there. That's the license plate right there, ZVF 568. Yep. It's beautiful, ain't it?
To me earlier. The ability to defend myself, of course.
I told you.
Yeah. Now, did I defend myself? Not with this thing. I don't want to fucking hurt the piece of shit. Of course, he's one of those idiots who only understands violence. How do you get him to listen to reason?
You have to fucking beat him to death.
Am I able to defend myself against him?
You know why they call them deadbeat dads? Because you can beat them to death. You're still never going to get your money. Now, a lot of people seem to take issue with the fact that I won't go kill these predators. Their solution for everything is to go kill these people. Well, you're not killing them, are you? Why are you going to tell me to do something you're not going to do? Let's see.
You have to be dead. Part of that time I had.
Let me see.
Now that lady who was trying to get in there and put a stop to it, I'm glad that she did that. But at the same time, that put her at risk, and I don't want that. Wolnez fucked up. He assaulted me, he threatened my life, he wanted to call me a pedophile and murderer and a bunch of other shit.
I guess that happened earlier in the video than that.
Before that, I'd only seen him a couple of times on a bike down there flirting with them youngins. By the way, he's recording on my channel doing that. I had to spend
Alright, just might be
premature, yet over the weight that I should be.
I do apologize for having to do it this way, but I'm working with 2 phones here. I don't have an editing studio.
A lot of women out here who have done that. Now here's the thing, is that the males who are victims of that are treated like it's their fault. They should have seen it coming. They should have known better. No. That is taking the responsibility away from the predator. You're blaming the victims. But it's okay because it's a victim of a particular gender, and that makes it all right, doesn't it? When it comes to murder, men are 5 times more likely to be murdered. When it comes to being murdered by a spouse, yeah, men are actually more likely to be murdered. Oh, there's a predator right across the street. Andrew Wolnez. So what do? Make sure I record it. Every time I see a predator, I make sure I record it. Get away, get away. Do not hit my phone. Do not. Dickhead decide to assault me. Stop assaulting me. Stop assaulting me. Stop.
I'm wanting you to stop videoing.
Stop. Stop. I don't care what you want. You chose to victimize me and assault me on multiple occasions. No, I am not. I am recording it every time that you come around me. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Stop stalking me. Bullshit.
I've done nothing to you.
Bullshit.
He's assaulted me repeatedly by this point.
This is harassment right here.
No, stop it again now.
I will not. He has assaulted me repeatedly. I will not stop recording.
What the fuck is with this dumb bitch wanting to speak for me? He's assaulted me repeatedly by this point. Hitting me, hitting my phone. Repeatedly. Now she says she thinks she got it. This retarded woman thinks she's got it. She has no fucking clue what's going on, but she thinks she's got it. That's why you don't trust women. This is why you don't listen to women. How do women help? This bitch literally helped the predator to get away.
I'm not going to stop recording people assaulting me or threatening me. This will not happen.
He's walking.
I don't care if he's recording or not. He doesn't get to do this.
He's walking.
So after your husband beats the fuck out of you, he should be allowed to get away with it because now he's walking away. Right? Try applying this to your own bullshit, you dumb cunt.
It's not okay. I can tell he's walking away. I am recording for my safety.
Okay, you guys are safe for that.
What a fucking retarded bitch. Now here's Malcolm.
I would love for somebody to call the police, but the police won't listen to me. They've been predatory towards me too. The first time I was ever assaulted by him was right over there at the cans. And I went across the street to get away from him. But as soon as somebody starts assaulting me, I'm going to record it every time I see them for my safety. I don't like being assaulted. Now, I make sure that I'm off the property. I make sure that I'm on the sidewalk here so that there hopefully won't be any issues with any of the people who work at the store, and everybody there's been real cool with me. But that stuff needs to stop. Between that and then people throwing pumpkins at my vehicle and egging my car and all that other stuff, like I just want to be left alone. I'm a human being. I can't defend myself against people like that. Of course.
What was he doing?
Assaulting me on multiple occasions. That's why I record.
Hear the people
Because
talking in the
there's so many people like him.
Well, next time I see him around here in New Orleans, I'll make sure I intervene first, okay? I don't want this to happen to you, so I'm sorry about that.
He's assaulted me here on this property at least twice. He assaulted me across the street at least twice. He assaulted me over at the library. He assaulted me over at the Seventh-day Adventist church.
Well, now that we know what he was like.
His name is Andrew Wolnez, and he's done this repeatedly. I don't want to have these problems. People have solutions like, why don't you move elsewhere? Why don't you move elsewhere? I'm disabled. I live on $800 a month. That's not enough to live on, let alone
The person talking there, it's not Malcolm. It's a lady who works there. This is the day before my birthday, by the way. Now you got to see the bullshit at the Seventh-day Adventist, and also where it first started. Now, them youngins committing crimes against me, it's not illegal for me to post up about that. And me telling on predators doesn't make me a pedophile. And that's the unfortunate fact of the matter here. Let's keep on looking until we can find the next one. Make sure that Wolnez, every situation that he was doing that stuff, well, we got to make sure that we show it, don't we? Let's see. The guy just kept it up. And of course, he committed enough felonies against me that I can't let it go. Nobody in their fucking right mind would let that shit go. Especially with as many times as he chose to be predatory. Now here's another one. Going to First Christian Church for food. Recording for my safety. Now, obviously, that was a good fucking idea.
For some food.
Like I said, I record for my safety. That was the title of this video before Wolnez showed up to be predatory.
Hopefully, one of the people who said they'd help me will actually come through. Chances are pretty good they won't.
Let's see.
I got two questions for you. After I ask the first one first, you wouldn't have to have some rolling papers I could use, would you? Yeah. Badass.
Stop fucking thing. Get that fucking thing out of my face.
It's not in your face.
It is. It is in my
He kept
face.
trying to pour his drink on me.
Wolnez, stop.
That fucking thing off.
Stop. It is
Don't
not
do it
okay to
anymore.
assault people, punk.
Fuck you.
You're a bitch.
Now, obviously, you wonder why I got 7 extra holes in me, right? You notice even when people are hitting me, screaming at me, pouring shit on me, trying to pour shit on my phone, I just keep running my goddamn mouth, don't I? And that right there, my friends, is the reason I ended up with 7 holes in my body that shouldn't have been there. 7 holes in my body that your God did not intend me to have at birth, because I didn't have them at birth. $27.58.
That's the thing. He needs to just leave me alone.
Stop fucking thing. Get that fucking thing out of my face.
It's not in your face.
See, he rides up to put himself in my face.
Wolnez, stop.
That fucking thing off.
Stop. It is
Don't
not
do it
okay to
anymore.
assault people, punk.
Fuck you.
You're a bitch.
I hope that quenches your thirst.
Oh yeah, fuck you, Eileen, by the way. Also, fuck you, Nichole Vertner. This is why you don't trust women. Women will not help you. Women do not give a shit. You see that church? First Christian church here in Tillamook.
People just kind of walk by or watch. On the bright side, at least I look good white stuff on my face.
Yeah, there was a bunch of, see, poured ice cream on me.
Now, I told you if I seen him down here, I was going to talk shit about him begging. It's one of the first things you got to hear him say on camera. Now, is there a reason that I record? You goddamn right there is.
Now there's more. That's not the only one. Now obviously, with him yelling at me, I should probably take it up to the part where he was yelling.
A lot of people tell always remind myself they have a mother. I'm like, when I see one of them, I don't remind myself I have a mother. I remind myself they're a human being. But that's kind of the point that they try to make in saying that. You are more than the label I put on you. If I see you smoking crack, and maybe it's the first time you ever smoked crack, maybe you smoke it every day, it doesn't matter. What matters is, if I choose to call you a crackhead, or choose to believe that you're a crackhead, or project onto you that you're a crackhead, maybe you are a crackhead, but that's not all that you are. There's still a human being in there. Just a lot of people are having a real hard time seeing it because they're not willing to look, and that's what gets you stuck in that funk. Like I said, as long as people don't mess with me, I don't mess with them.
Tell milk and then you fucking back.
See, he rides by talking shit.
There's wolnez right there.
Now, did I just start recording him for no fucking reason? No.
That's the thing. He needs to just leave me alone.
Stop. Fucking thing. Get that fucking thing out of my face.
It's not in your face.
It
Stop.
is. It is in my face.
Back up.
It
Get
is
away
in my
from me.
face.
Wolnez, stop.
That fucking thing off.
Stop. It is
Don't
not
do it
okay to
anymore.
assault people, punk.
Fuck you.
You're
Yeah,
a
fuck
bitch.
you, Eileen.
Hope
And fuck you, Nichole Vertner. Fuck both your churches.
It did, Wolnez.
Both Seventh-day Adventist and First Christian Church. Is there anything nice to say about Tillamook? No, not really.
And as always, people
Telling the
just
truth
kind of
about Tillamook.
watch.
People always like to pretend that telling the truth is talking shit. Shannon Alvarado wanted to pretend that her alcoholism was just talking shit. Every woman gonna play that. Every single one of them has been taught to play on that. Every single woman that you will ever meet in the United States, this is how she has been taught. Now, sure, her parents might have told her different things, but you don't just learn from what your parents tell you. Matter of fact, most of you, your parents are so goddamn ignorant, I wouldn't recommend believing anything that they say without Googling it first. Oh, and by the way, Google is wrong a lot too, so there's that.
At least I look good white stuff on my face. Now, I told you if I seen him down here, I was going to talk shit about him begging. It's one of the first things you got to hear him say on camera.
Now, Eileen, she got to hear some of the situation that happened on that property, that church property, when I first got here, when Robert Warnick was being predatory. Now, of course, people want to justify what Warnick did. Sorry, not Robert Warnick, Robert Farnsworth. They want to justify what he did by calling him mentally ill. Well, no, that doesn't justify it. See, that's a double-edged sword. When people want to pretend that it's okay for a predator to do something and you just call him mentally ill and you should let him get away with it. No. But then, of course, you do something fucked up to somebody who's easy to victimize and you call him mentally ill and try to convince people not to listen to him. That's dumb. Of course I speak up. There's also a whole shit ton of people at the Safeway. Because, like I said, it's not just the assaults. There have been at least half a dozen assaults against me on Safeway property. There's also the assaults against my vehicle on Safeway property on multiple occasions. And I do what Malcolm instructed me to do, as well as Miriam and many others there. Go in and tell the staff. No matter what crimes are committed against me, the cops are going to talk over me, refuse to listen, refuse to investigate. And until I have a friend or family member who actually cares, that's what I'm stuck with. Now, this ain't the only time that wolnez wanted to ride straight at my vehicle. Now, this is what he's doing. He's being antagonistic as fuck. Rides by my vehicle, talking shit, and then wants to pretend that he's being victimized because he's recorded. Well, maybe he should have thought about that before riding by my vehicle talking shit. Actually talking shit like a little bitch. What a dumbass. If he rides by me talking shit, he's going to get recorded. If he comes within 50 feet of me, he's going to get recorded. Now, of course, when I go to the churches, I record. And I state my reason for recording. That's right. This is from 2 days ago. And yes, I record everywhere I go for my safety.
Handicap spot next to me.
This is,
That was fine. People parked in one of the parking spots ahead of me, and that's fine too. And Chris Stafford walked by and smacked the hood of my vehicle.
and his friends parked in
Those
all
guys'
available
lights are off.
spots around my car.
Your lights are off!
Y'all were talking about something, so I walked out.
Well, he's parking anyway, so it doesn't matter. But figured I'd let him. There was a few snide and rude comments, but I ignored them.
I've been through this shit with wolnez for 7 years, but it hasn't been wolnez for the whole 7 years. Sorry, 8 years now. It's any predator who thinks it's okay. And people like Eileen and Nichole do nothing to stop it or deter it from happening. And neither do the police.
Which I'm capable of doing too, as we're all over. I got a pretty filthy goddamn mouth. I gotta wait another hour before I can go anywhere, and then I got shit tons of errands to run. That ought to be fun. People are shitty, that's a fact.
By the way, this happened at
If they
Safeway
think you're
property
pretty, they
too.
might act a little nicer, but not likely.
At one point, I actually paused the video, and he threw the apple in, and it fucking knocked everything and started playing the video. So you'll actually hear the apple coming through my window. I started recording the video specifically because Chris Stafford came up and sniffed on my vehicle more than once. And his friends, of course, had taken up every available parking spot around me.
How effective were
There it is. Sorry, I fast-forwarded it too much on accident.
How effective were pens or false? The Podsterfaust was it
Now that right there was me not freaking out about a goddamn apple coming through my window. You get to hear it going through the plastic here.
Chris Stafford threw a goddamn apple through my window. What a piece of shit.
See that? It's a Safeway parking lot.
There's the cops right there. Fucking bastards. Useless shits.
6% of the tax belongs to Adventists. Each Podsterfaust cost roughly $1 US in today's money, which was remarkably cheap.
People don't like being recorded? No, they don't like being recorded committing crimes. They don't like getting busted. And they think it's okay to harm innocent people. See, here's the difference between me and Wolnez. Wolnez is an actual predator. I only do predatory things. Well, I don't even do predatory things back, do I? Nope. You have a hard time even getting me to say that I would do most of that shit. Well, I get told over and over and over again that it's not against the law for people to threaten to kill me. Yes, it is. It's making terroristic threats. I've literally been charged with making terroristic threats when I didn't threaten to kill anybody. But that's neither here nor there. With all the people giving me hell and harassing me everywhere I go, well, why is this happening? Because cops are bad. Chris Stafford said that himself. Now, once he realized that him having a position at the laundromat allowed him to call the cops, whereas previously he wouldn't have been allowed to, well, it shows what kind of a world we really live in. The cops don't give a shit about the people. They care about people with money. What do the people with money want? Well, we should criminalize all homeless because people with money don't like us. right? We should just pretend that all homeless people are junkies because people with money don't like us. Well, fuck this goddamn country. Oh yeah, and fuck Robert Warnick. And fuck Andrew Wolnez. Oh yeah. Fuck Eileen. And fuck Nichole Vertner. These ain't good people. Now, all three of Eileen's daughters I got to meet. That's because they all, at one point in time, volunteered at the local church here. First Christian Church. Now, when there's abusers on the property, what do? They don't care. They will let your abuser get away with doing it on the property, off the property, wherever the fuck he wants. A good person, seeing Wolnez do any of this shit, would call the fucking cops immediately. But there are no good people. There are zero good people. With Wolnez, I cannot let him go. I cannot risk him harming myself or others because he has already shown himself to be an actual predator. Also, the police showed that I can't go to them for help. Eileen showed that I can't go to her for help. Nichole Vertner showed I can't go to her for help. What are these people going to do? They're going to pawn me off on services that I've already been to, or pawn me off on drug addicts. Eileen has been standoffish with me ever since the shit with Wolnez. Sorry, not Wolnez. Warnick. No. Farnsworth. Sorry, I got a lot of people who have been predatory towards me, and some of them have the same first name. Now, Farnsworth, he's been leaving me alone, but something should have been done about him a lot sooner. People say, oh, he's a lot nicer when he's not on drugs. Yeah, but maybe not. The fact is, when he is on drugs, he's doing harmful shit. And whether it's legal for him to do those drugs or not, it's not legal for him to fucking assault people. It's not legal for him to stalk people. Now, of course, this is everywhere I go. This is just from the last month, folks. I mean, going back to the 23rd of September to start off showing you where this bullshit first started with Wolnez. So what does he do? He starts throwing a tantrum, slandering my name, accusing me of being a pedophile, accusing me of being a murderer. And somehow magically this makes it okay? No, it doesn't. I have to be worried about him harming others too, because he has shown that he is 100% an active predator. Active. That means he actively pursues victims. What's the difference between you and me? I'm not a selfish piece of shit. Eileen doesn't give a fuck who's harmed on or off the property, unless it's her or one of hers. If you harm a kid there, I guarantee you she knows exactly what to do. But I wouldn't trust her to do it. If one of her daughters was being victimized like that, the cops would be there fucking immediately. But instead, Eileen showed that she's not going to help by saying she'll talk to an officer who's a friend of hers. Really? Seems everybody's friends with everybody in this town, and rather than help the victim to turn it in right away, you're going to table talk with a bunch of other predators. See, when you've got a position of power and authority, and you abuse it in the way that Nichole Vertner did, and the way that Eileen did, you shouldn't be allowed around children. If you will literally allow people to be victimized on the property, and then, of course, if they're victimized off the property, even inside of you, you say, oh, well, it didn't happen on our property. Really? Does that release you of your moral obligations? It only matters if it happens on Safeway property. Well, obviously, it doesn't matter even then. Even then, it doesn't matter. Nobody at Safeway is going to help to turn it in. Nobody at Seventh-day Adventist Church is going to help turn it in. Nobody at First Christian Church is going to help turn it in. None of these people care. And it'll go out of their minds 100 times that I'm disabled because they want to make the same crack-headed suggestions over and over again. Telling somebody they have to go to their predator to turn their predator into their predator is the thinking of a fucking crackhead. Look what getting help from the person that Nichole Vertner pawned me off on resulted in. Resulted in me getting ripped off, taken advantage of, physically harmed. Nichole Vertner works for a hospital that I was assaulted in, and when I explained to her about the assaults, she wanted to pawn it off and talk over me as if it's not assault. No, it absolutely is, and she is required by law to turn it in, and she didn't. Any lie that makes it okay for you to not do your job is good enough for Nichole Vertner. She doesn't care who is killed. She doesn't care who is assaulted. She doesn't care who is harmed. She gives zero shits. She just doesn't want to do her job as a mandated reporter. Same thing with the cops. Meanwhile, who is it that's spreading this slander about me? Well, the cops, everywhere I go. Witness after witness tell me this. Also, I've heard the cops with my own 2 ears in multiple locations telling people this. But not one person has stopped to actually listen. And I certainly can't believe that any woman is going to shut up long enough to understand a goddamn thing that men have to go through. God bless America, right?